GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
GUVI, a vernacular edutech brand, skilling everyone everywhere.
Hi Samyuktha,
Hello.
good to have you in Galatta Plus.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
You know, before this interview started, I heard you talking to a lot of people in Telugu, and to my ears at least, it sounded pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so now you've really settled in Hyderabad.
Mentally, yes, I did. Learning language it started as because I want to excel in my acting over here, and I wanted to not just be that person who just say something, deliver something, and go. I wanted to do it from the heart. That's why I started learning.
Right.
But now when I see that joy in their faces, when I speak their language and behave like one, and that Telugu Ammai that what they say, I like it.
Nice.
I really like that they're just holding me like this. Recently, one of my director was saying, you're talking like a village village girl from Andhra. I'm like, wow.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Now here in Telugu, you're on a bit of a hot streak. You've had Sir, you've had Bimbisara, and then you had the biggest of them all,
Yeah.
Virupaksha,
Yes.
where you practically had the whole climax to yourself. But when I look for what you're doing next, I'm not finding anything.
There is so much.
Really?
Yeah, there is so much. Of course, I took a small, not a break. So whenever Virupaksha Sir came, and then another 1 month Virupaksha came out. If you see, Sir was a movie where I played a very subtle, soft character. And people related to it and they loved it. They loved what I did. Especially that song went so viral.
Right.
And it had a huge impact. And then comes Virupaksha, where I do, go all out. I gave out my, the performance, and then I played a village, a character which is from a village. They say that Pallatura.
Yeah.
So it's on two extremes, and that gave me a lot of attention, I would say. Now, what happens when there is so much of attention is that one thing, you get carried away, and then you forget the sole purpose of being in here. And there's too much things coming on my way, like, appearances, brand, this, that, so much noise. It's better to cut that off. At least for me, I love to take a step back, within myself especially, put myself in that aligned state, and then come back. Another thing that I've noticed is I don't want to get saturated mentally. I don't want to be that, every day you're doing, and you don't know which direction are you traveling. I love to have that time to evaluate my situation, my direction. So I need that. I took a break.
Like, how long was it?
So I signed a movie last year middle, and then I had a release in December, but of course I didn't start anything new. So I started shooting almost after a year. So
December, you had the Devil movie.
Devil release,
Yeah.
and then in between we were doing just a patchwork for that film. So I started a new film very recently,
Which is?
which is which is with we have not titled it yet. It's with Sharvanand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful, very beautiful, sweet film. Yeah.
Right. Is it a love story?
There is love, romance. It's very light-hearted. It's directed by the director who did Samyuktha.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the script so much that there is that subtle, fun moments in the film, but that is not affecting the core story.
Right.
So there are those serious moments where I am doing my stuff. I am putting that, the emotions and everything is there. But at the same time, there is another character who's doing the fun part without affecting the... You understood?
Right.
You got it? I'm trying to explain. But,
Yeah.
I'm imagine there is a tough situation.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it, and it is going on one side. The director plays or set up the whole thing, plans a scene in a way that the fun mode is still there.
Mm-hmm.
And people are not taken away from that core emotion of that scene.
Nice.
I find that's the first time I'm doing something like that. I find it a very, very interesting
Right.
task to achieve.
So this goes back to something we were talking about before the interview. You started out in Malayalam cinema,
Yeah.
and from there, that vantage point, Telugu cinema is all about, color and flavor
yeah.
and big
Big
entertainment,
stuff, big
and
entertainment,
big
ekdam.
larger than life
Yes,
things,
yes.
and song and dance especially. And in all your films so far, you've never really done a song and dance.
No.
So in this film, finally, do you get to do a song and dance?
I'm not sure. No, nothing.
Nothing.
No dance.
Nothing. So you're this one Telugu heroine who's being kept away from the staples of Telugu cinema.
Not intentionally, but that's what coming in my way.
Right.
And I'm not. It's not that I'm not ready to do that. I'm preparing myself to do that mentally. I know that.
Are you taking dance classes?
Yeah, I'm learning kuchipudi that's because I want to learn kuchipudi, not for this. But yeah, I'm preparing myself. I know that it's gonna come.
It's gonna come.
It's gonna come. It's
Okay,
there.
all right. You know, you start out with certain films and you go there, and then suddenly you get Tivandi, which is the first time you're acting with a big hero, Tovino Thomas.
yeah.
Of course, later you did Kadua with
Yeah,
Prithvi. This is not an easy journey for anybody.
Really?
No. I'm saying
It
was
is
it
not
very
easy. No, not at all.
Yeah. So within 10 films to get this kind of a thing, how did it feel?
Okay, so that's a bit of a personal question which I don't mind answering. I became an actor by chance,
Yeah.
just like that.
Yeah.
Picked up from a village in Palakkad, dropped into that entire film space.
Yeah.
And then I don't enjoy it. I want to go back.
Right.
Here you go. Picked up again vigorously from that spot. I don't know who, I cannot say who, but I would say destiny.
Yeah.
And back again.
Yeah.
Now I know that somehow I have to, struggle and swim against the waves and then reach the shore. Films that I did after that didn't really, satisfy, and it was tough again. And then comes Lily,
Yeah.
which I enjoyed doing because I felt that this is a space. I am getting a space, For an actor to do something, you should be given the space to do. Be the character, the role, the role and the script. Everything should come.
Right.
Then only you can prove. Otherwise, you're like, hey, I'm an actor, but you need the canvas to do it. I felt Lily is a good canvas. And then here you go, I start from the basics. And then I go so vigorously trying to grab all the informations that I can get from by watching, movies and then listening to podcasts or, listening to master classes, doing whatever I could do from that little knowledge that I had back then, trying to prove myself. I don't know who was I trying to prove, I don't know, but maybe to myself that I'm not a failure. And it was a nice start. Now I look back, I know that I could have done a lot better. After Lily was an experimental film, and it's not, nobody wanted that to, nobody was expecting that to have that proper commercial release, and in between plan would send that to, festivals, and a lot of conversation was happening. Of course, I was not involved in any of those conversations. I was away from everything. All I know is I get informations from, by speaking to someone in the direction, maybe the director or someone, they would tell me, this is the plan. Technically, there was an uncertainty about what next. And nobody's approaching me for anything else. I'm being very honest. So magically, I literally manifested Tivandi in my life. Not joking. After Lily, I'm staying with my grandparents in Cochin. One day, I get that uncertainty is striking so much in my head. I don't know how to move on. I'm taking care of my family financially as well. So it's like a responsibility. And in that age, when I was 22, I decided that my family is not going to know that I'm struggling. According to them, that I'm okay. I'm okay. Nothing wrong. But I know that my bank balance is almost nil. I'm unable to run the show. And my grandparents were sick. They had their diabetes and all those stuff, and the medicines and everything. So it was tough. Those days I watch a lot. I had a small, a tab which I took from Lily's director to watch movies, and I was on a spree of watching the horror films, and I would sleep in between my grandparents and cover and watch that. One day I just stopped watching because I'm unable to take the anxiety inside me, and I literally at that midnight I just told myself or whoever or whatever, it was heard at the end of the day, it was heard. I need a film where I get a good character with a good director, good story, and a known hero with from a good production house. Less than a week, I got Tivandi.
Wow.
You know how I got Tivandi? Because a female actor who was supposed to perform, do that role, backed out 2 days before. And the team went searching to replace her with, and of course they called all the actors who were already there. And I didn't have any known films back then, but you not because it's not one route but three different routes. Like so Appu Bhattathiri was editing Lily. He was also the editor of Tivandi, and some other person who does casting also suggested by name, and a costume designer and a stylist also suggest my name. So it's from three direction. Go Samyuktha, 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 and they go to my old Instagram where I used to post funny pictures. They liked it. The way they approached me was in a very, very respectable manner. Like they said, okay, we want you to read the script and please let us know your opinion and your take on the character. You do it only if you like it. For me, in that starting stage, where I was not even given the script, like why you? So before that, before Lily, the couple of films that I did, there was tough situation where according to them it is okay because in their perspective what am I gonna provide, like why take that extra effort by giving her more informations on it. But when I actually that when they did it, the approach from that I would say it was a brilliant experience. So that's a personal, so for me the journey in the cinema and my personal life is so much aligned. So much aligned.
Did you audition for Tivandi? No. And wow, that's
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly, that's what I said. And I didn't audition and I'm still confused. Like, me, really? It's a good script. I loved it. And I said I am doing it midnight.
Right.
I get the script 11 o'clock. I kept reading, and one stretch I finish it. I sent a message to the director somewhere around 1:30 because I have to start the shoot in another 2 days. And that was the time when, after shooting My Nadi, Toby was, going full on with all the. He had a huge lineup, and he had to go. After this, he had to join another film. I think after this, he had to go do Maradona. So he had a tight lineup, so they didn't want to miss.
Yeah.
So, and Shahjahan was like, okay, we'll shoot sometime later. And they were all scared. Felny was scared that it's his first film. They wanted to shoot it on that day. And Qatar Awards was happening. All the actresses that they approached other than me, they were all at Qatar.
This is really destiny,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So whenever I have a tough situation, I go back to this and I'm like, this is normal. This is not normal. This is very, very, a magic happening. Now I have to trust the process and just go forward.
Yeah. You've put in your time in the Malayalam film industry, and you've also done Telugu films now, a couple of Tamil films as well, but mainly Malayalam and Telugu. What's the process of the making of a film that you find different in this language versus that language?
I'm unable to differentiate between two languages, but definitely
the industry
as an actor, like me as an actor, I have evolved so much from where I was. And I would say I did Malayalam for almost so many years. I did 20 plus films. Can you believe that? Yeah. I cannot believe, so that's why. The process has changed for me. And the way I approach any cinema in any industry is the same.
Right.
Even here, I ask all the questions that I can ask.
Right.
And a few assistant directors would say, madam dagriki ellanu because madam chala adutharu, that I'll ask so much question. So for me, I would say wherever I go, I'm going to stick on to this process that I do.
Right.
Because that's what has worked for me. And I've taken few decisions. I told you I took that break, and then now I want to do cinema which I can be proud about. Like I don't want to go back and say, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. Or
Right.
I shouldn't have done that. I don't want that in my life. I'm trying not to have regrets. I want to be proud of the films that I do. I want to be proud of the characters that I do. And anything is okay for me. Even if I do a cameo in a movie, I want to be proud of it.
Right.
So I'm keeping the acting process, for me, the approach is the same.
Right.
The same. When I'm expecting a difference, slight difference that I felt in over there, we do a lot of master shots, single shot for 1 minute, 2 minute, lot of camera movement. And and that's it. There are sequences, we just finish it off right there. But in Telugu cinema, they really don't want, they're very clear that they don't want such sequences. At least in the films that I've worked, I've asked, what if like it, it's a movement shot and this? No. They're quite reluctant. So I have to memorize. So the nuances that I do when in the master shot, I put my entire body and all the substance that I made of into that character, into that moment. And when we go to that close up mid shot, I want the same nuances to happen. And when you do that full, you get a flow. When you cut, I am, that flow, I miss that flow. Initially, I was unable to make it look natural.
Right.
There's just subtle things, it doesn't come between the 10 seconds ka reaction shot.
Yes.
So I've trained myself to, have that memory of what I'm doing and then to get into that flow and still try to achieve that small 10 shot close up. That's a major difference that I've seen. Then maybe the call sheet is different.
Yeah, but that's a very interesting thing because the whole actorly process changes.
Yeah, it does.
Because you're in that zone for a longer time in Malayalam cinema,
Yes.
whereas here you have to keep putting yourself into that zone
Yes.
repeatedly over
Yes.
different shots. That's very interesting.
It is very
Yeah,
interesting.
it must be a little, like at least at first it must have been a little,
Very scary.
yeah.
I don't know the language, and when we do movies in Malayalam, we are very close to being so natural, be it not just the acting,
Yeah, yeah.
but the look also.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a bindas free life. Here you go, you have to act. You have to take care of yourself and be conscious about how you look on screen. Groom yourself. That was not really me at that point when I started. In Malayalam, we are ready in the morning and we just go and do. Here, I wear a sari and there are the pleats. No, before the shot, my sari draper would come running. So I'm like, take a deep breath. Okay, I'm in the mood. I'm ready to do the shot. Sari draper would keep coming, and that there is a slight interruption. She would correct the pleats. So that was not an easy. It might look, sound silly.
No, it's not because
but
it's
not.
like because you're ready to jump in. Yeah.
Ready to jump in. Memorizing the lines. Of course, I have to memorize. And back then, when I didn't know the language, see, even if you know the language, you can, manage to say the content of the lines that was given. If I don't know the language, even if one word is out, then there is no flow.
Yeah.
Then I'll say cut. They'll be like, it's okay, continue. But I cannot.
Yeah.
I would say the dialogue exactly how it was given to me, each word just like that I would deliver. So for me, keeping that in memory and then all that things was very difficult. Like
Right.
having an entire team to take care of you, be it the hair, makeup. I'm unable to act because I felt there is something on the skin.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you are used to, act without makeup and just free hair. That process was very, very difficult for me. Very difficult.
Now you mentioned cameo. Your role in
Really?
Bhimla Naik
Oh, yeah.
is not a very big role. It's maybe 20-25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
There's two ways to look at it. One is there is no such thing as a small part, and
Correct.
like that's way.
Absolutely.
The second way is I know a lot of actors that look for the length of the role because at least at the starting part of their career, when they're trying to establish themselves, they kind of don't do these things because they feel that then they might get a lot of films where they're asked to play these small roles. So what was running through your mind when that part came to you? I mean, you had seen Ayyappan Kosham, so you kind of knew what the role was, and you were like, okay, I'm going to do this.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Because I knew what Ayyappan was, not because of the role. I love that film so much.
Yeah. It's a wonderful film.
Wonderful film,
Yeah.
brilliant film. I was never confident on recreating whatever that was. But the first call itself said, no, you have to listen to this because the way we adapted, we have the change that has happened in the story is around this character.
Right.
You know that if you see the major change that has happened in the adaptation is this character has become something else over here. I play the tribal, the women from the tribal background and everything. So two things. One thing, I don't literally not afraid of any, what do you say, typecasting or
Right.
okay, now I want to break it. So there is this attitude inside me which is very rebellious, and I always love to. If people think that this is what Samyukta is, my next step is to break
That.
that idea in my real life and also in my professional life. Now, when I did Bhimla Nayak, they saw me, that, oh, thank God that and Ravi sir was like, that I did, I was ready for the role, and then I did all the makeup. And no, just wash your face and come. I'm like, yes, here you go, 5 minutes and then I'm ready. Everybody said the same. See, if you play a pregnant character and then you might not be able to navigate smoothly in here, and then you're not even pairing up opposite, Pawan sir. So that is not. So I was like, okay, there is too many things going against it, so let me do it. Not just that. So I have done lengthy roles in films. Didn't create any impact.
Yeah.
Didn't create any impact. So with my my own experience, it's not the length, but the impact.
Right.
Suraj Chattan and Jagdish Chattan and they are those actors who just come. If you in Action Hero Biju, if I think all I can remember is the performance that he did.
Yeah.
That one scene. So I know the impact.
Yeah.
That one scene or one moment. Just a movie is all about those moments. It's like it might be slow and lagging or whatever they say. I don't believe in that word lagging, but there's that one moment and then people are back again.
Yeah.
So I knew that this character that I played had the potential to create that moment inside cinema. Imagine, so the brief, you know what I got? Two bulls are fighting. Okay, one goddess is entering, and because of her, the fight is done. Fine, fair enough. So the entire conflict of the movie is done because of the entry of the character that I played.
Right.
And who is playing those two characters? It's one is the power star, and the other guy is known as the handsome Hulk. So there's that impact, and I wanted to be that person who, I really loved
Yeah.
it.
It turned out to be a very good decision. Yeah.
Moment when that shot where I hold his hand when we shot the flashback sequences, the theater was just all out. That was the first time I experienced something like that on screen. Like
That's nice.
The Telugu audience, the way they respect,
Yeah.
they respect and react.
Yeah.
In theaters, wow.
That's amazing. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. You are now just Samyukta. You've dropped your surname. And you said that was because you wanted equality. Is that because the surname belongs to a particular community?
Yes, it is.
That's
Yes,
why you
absolutely.
Yeah. But I was just thinking, having already been introduced this way, was like
Very difficult.
Yeah.
Still people call me Samyukta Menon and I hate it.
Right.
And I keep on correcting. I get so angry, really. I said, see, not to someone, but people who work for me, my manager and everyone. Recently, when I got, they sent me a content for a bite, and it had Samyukta Menon. I said, I'm not doing this bite. He asked me, why? You look into it and you come back.
Right.
Because it really is exhausting to keep saying the same thing again and again for almost 2 years now.
Right.
For me, it's a very major, massive, good decision that I've taken in
How
my
did
life.
it come about?
Influence of the place I come from, Kerala. The way, especially actors, their ideologies and everything is something which I've looked at, and it has inspired me. And I know for a fact this is an outdated system which shouldn't be. I mean, it will take time for the entire thing to be eradicated and a new one world to come in. But at least as of now, there's a simple step matters. Small step. This is, we call in Saint Malayalam, Paladulli Peruvalam, we say this. Each drop, small drops makes that.
Yeah.
So I want to take that step. But it's so difficult because they know few. So most of them does not realize why I'm doing that. They think it's part of my name, just a name. I just want that to go. I'm trying my level best.
And 2 years hasn't, like it still has, the people still call you Samyuktha.
People still call me Samyuktha Menon.
Right.
And now sometimes I'm exhausted, sometimes I correct. I don't know, somewhere, someday.
Right. So this plays into some kind of social awareness that happened, like at one stage, or was it always something that you had within you?
It was there always within me.
Okay.
But then I didn't know what to do with it because I don't want my, here and you have to have you should have a surname, right?
Right.
When you have a birth certificate or anything, there should be a surname.
Yeah.
That's the only surname that should actually have. Like, it's a personal thing which I don't want to answer. Now I'm trying to add my family name. I have to do that officially. Other than that, so for all those years growing up, I didn't have another choice but to have that.
Yeah.
And then when I entered cinema, it started off like that and just went up like that.
Okay,
I couldn't get that proper juncture where I could take the step and do it. I did it and still I'm doing it.
There's another thing I wanted to ask you about, which is that you once said that you don't believe in a plan B. Means that you will focus less on what you're doing. Another way to look at that is to say that I'm not going to activate that plan B until I know that plan A is kind of not working. But then it's always good to have plan B.
Okay.
I mean, there are two ways to look at it.
I got
right?
it. I got it.
Yeah.
So here I have evolved. So you can see my entire, back then when I should have been 23, 24 when I said that.
Yeah.
Now I'm 28. So I have evolved. My entire growth is documented as interviews and I'm very happy about it. I'm there at that, still there, where I don't want to have a plan B because I don't have a plan B. If you have a plan A and
No, not having a plan B is different, but not wanting to have a plan B is different.
Same here. I don't want a plan B right now.
Yeah.
Because I feel when you have a plan A and then you're going and you're trusting the process and going in that, taking that route, why, segregate your energy and put your thoughts into a plan B? Because at least the way I am wired, I feel that if I start thinking about another plan, then automatically the plan A is not working and I don't like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So because you see hiccups or because you see roadblocks in the plan A, that's when me, think about some other thing. So for me, I don't have a plan B. I feel like I don't have an option other than cinema. I don't know what to do. Literally. I mean, that doesn't mean that, I'll be, in terms of job or a career is what I meant.
Right.
Right now, I want to have, this is my plan A, and all my energy, my life, from my life and, from the time I wake up, everything is surrounding and related to this.
Yeah.
If I go to something else, I only do that. I cannot do this.
Right.
That's what I meant.
So it's basically you saying that whatever you do, you want to do with full focus.
Yes. Full focus, full energy.
Right.
Smaller things I understand. So imagine that I want to, technically go from point A to point B in terms of, I want to go to the airport. Like running out of time, then I'll have plan A, plan B, plan C. Okay, next is taking the next flight. The next is finding the nearest airport and then taking by road. All those I'll have. But practically on a larger canvas in terms of career, life, personal things, just one plan.
Just one plan. When you say that, when you say that everything revolves around cinema, it makes me want to ask, do you believe in work-life balance?
No.
Is that concept, I mean, I always struggle with that concept because I think people who enjoy their work, that's part of the life also.
Yes.
So
I don't have a work-life balance.
Yeah.
I said this to my best friend also recently. She asked me, she's a businesswoman, she asked me, everybody is complaining. All the Gen Z who's working in her office is complaining that they are unable to have that the weekend travel and all those things. Anything that's related to content creation, by the way. I come from a little, 90s kid. I don't have a work-life balance, and I don't believe in work-life balance until I hit a roadblock, and then I learn. Till then, my life is work, and that's it. And I don't want a. This is my life.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
Right.
When I start acting, in my one schedule is going on, then that's it.
Right.
Then I'm not that person. I love to come back home and relax, and all those things are there. But then there is no meeting up with friends. There is no travel. I can only travel and do other things when I have a long break.
Right.
And then my wind down was also very slow. One day the schedule is over, and the next day it takes time for me to come out of that work thing also. Little changes to that, the timing, the wake up, and everything. And that's how then, for a week or something, I'll indulge in my own happiness, travel, and everything. And then again, I also need that time to get back into the routine, waking up at 5 o'clock and all those things. That's what. But I would say work-life balance. I don't see. I'm technically having a break right now. What I'm doing is morning I wake up 5 o'clock and I go for horse riding. I started that as a preparation.
Horse riding?
Horse riding.
You
Horseback riding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a passion of yours?
It started off as I was introduced to it because of a role that I have to play. But then they said, this is enough, you have learned enough, now you can stop.
What age did you just started it now?
No, it's been like, started it now, 2 months it's been, then, and then
No, sorry, the reason I'm laughing is, back in the day when a star kid or anybody was being launched, they would be...
They come with full preparation,
Yeah, so they'll have to learn to fight, ride a horse,
I
like that dance. So they'll be put in different classes, to kind of. So that's what, when you said horseback riding, I was just suddenly.
I am my own star kid right now.
So that's a good line. That should be the thumbnail. I am my own star kid. Yeah.
Wow, because you know what? I'm doing all the things that I wanted to do as a kid.
Yeah.
Desires fulfilled, learning dance, practicing, for the fight and everything. I'm doing multiple things these days.
Yeah.
And that's also because I have the privilege to take that break and not do any of the work because of the pay I get from the movies. Sorted. Nothing to think about what if, taking care of my family, my mom, and everybody's in a happy space. I'm in a happy space. Now I can take that break, do the things that I want to do. I'm very honored and happy to say this. I've said 4 years back, if you see, I've spoken about my financial struggles also.
Yeah.
So I started this for a movie. But then when you go, some genetic memory kicks in. The moment I sit on a horse, I'm like, oh my God, this is where I belong. Come, take me.
Maybe you're like a princess in a previous life.
Not a princess. I'm okay being a wanderer, roaming around the forest and mountains. I'm happy. I look at myself like that.
Yeah.
Here I have my wallpaper on my phone is a black horse. I want to have a black stallion in the near future. I really enjoy it. So now it has become a passion.
Nice.
So it's why I understand that it's a massive change. My mom is not going to believe that I'm waking up 5 o'clock to do this. I was never a morning person. And I used to struggle. I used to, as a kid, when they come wake me up in the morning to go to school, I used to shout and cry and do all the tantrums because after that I'm okay. But waking up is a big no-no, except for any summer camp or any other camp that I have to go, or this youth festival, art festival, or excursion. Except that, I will never wake up early. Here, with no pressure, nothing, nobody's asking me to go do this. I wake up early, make my coffee, do a little bit of meditation, and I have my few things that I do in the morning, and then I'll go do my horse riding for 1.5 hours. I'm still there, but a lot more things to learn. And after that, I go to a nice cafe, have a good morning breakfast, come back home, and then come back and then I'll ask my manager what next, like either Pilates or this or that or something is there.
Right. And that is until
This is
you
my
begin.
life, and technically this is work also.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this is my life now. But you say if you ask me, there is no balance, because why am I doing this, or why I got introduced to all these things is because I have to do. I told my manager, see, tomorrow if somebody asks me if she knows this, she knows that, make sure that at least we try our level best to say a no. I mean, like, there should be a no, not no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If somebody asks me, she knows driving? Yes. She knows swimming? Yes. Will she, do skating? Yes, I know the basics. If she know horse riding? Yes. If she does dance? I don't know, but let's see. Let's see.
Wow, that's really something. So, no, but I it's a good thing when people say this, because today on the internet and on Instagram and all those kinds of things, there's there's just so much of emphasis on this work-life balance that I think a lot of people feel pressured to not like when they have to work hard, and some fields you do have to work hard. It's not like you walk in at 9 o'clock, swipe a card, and then 5 o'clock you're back home, and then Saturdays, Sundays are off, and not every field is like
Correct.
that, right?
Sir, it's also a privilege.
It's a privilege.
It's a privilege.
No, but the thing is, it comes with some.
And I understand everyone
yeah.
who says that they want that life, because they know how hard some profession or career can be,
Yeah.
especially when they are not enjoying it.
Yeah.
You see, most of the people around, cinema is, I know I'm sitting at a very privileged space.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing to it. I just spoke about myself. Now let me, just increase the bandwagon and speak about everyone else. It's tough.
Yeah.
I interact. A lot of my friends are from the school days, and then they have this job. They are engineers and all that. It's very, very tough on them.
Yeah.
Especially if they have to meet their partners. They are married, and they only get to spend time with each other on that Sunday. Saturday they have to work, and it's not. And most of them, they're not engineers because they wanted to become an engineer. They are engineer because
they're pushed into it. Yeah.
they're born in Kerala, and two options, like you have to do BTech, and then that's why they are an engineer.
Yeah.
And they don't enjoy it. So if you don't enjoy your work, then ask them, telling them this mantra that there is literally no work-life balance, and that it won't work.
I'm an engineer.
Wow. See, one day everyone was an engineer.
Yeah.
Writer, actor, director, everyone was an engineer.
Yeah.
And I love my work. I am head over heels in love with what I do. And that's why I'm able to say this. Even if I go to a set, it's not work for me.
Yeah.
It's that excitement of, my God, what new is going to happen, what new thing that I can do, learn what new thing that I'm going to learn from someone around me. So that's what is driving me. Otherwise, I would have walked out of any other,
Yeah, nice. I'm glad you
just walk
found
off.
your passion, and good luck.
How?
Yeah. I think everybody should start watching horror movies at their grandparents' house, and manifest things. But thank you again. It was lovely talking to you, and I hope all the best for the Shravanand film.
Thank you so much.
And it starts shooting in a.
No, we that's there, and then there is Nikhil Swayambhu, and then there are two more films.
No, when does this?
One movie is already going on.
Going on, okay.
Swayambhu, they have begun, work, and I have not joined the movie yet. I'm waiting to join.
Right.
With my horse.
Oh, that's the horse.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
That's nice. All right. So, good luck with the horse
Thank
riding.
you so
good
much.
luck with the kuchipudi, and good luck with everything. So,
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
GUVI, a vernacular edutech brand, skilling everyone everywhere.